Hey guys, this is Josh with the Update channel, and in this video we're going to be talking about a injection filtering system that I've been getting quite a few emails on. And basically what it is if you have a Huey engine, a Cat one, so that'd be a 3126, a C7, or a C9, one of the biggest problems these engines had was metal contamination getting into the injectors and usually causing damage to one or multiples of them, usually resulting in needing a whole new set of injectors. And parts alone on this could be $3,000 plus labor if you're not going to do it yourself. Now, Cat had released for the C7s a inline filter that went between the Huey pump and the engine, and this was meant to protect contaminants getting to the Huey pump and the injectors. The problem with this system is, though, if you have a Huey pump failure, that's after the filter, so you would still have metal contamination getting into the injectors. And in my opinion, most of the injector failures are coming from failures in the Huey pump and not necessarily the engine itself sending metal to the Huey pump. Now, it's not a bad idea to run an extra filter to the Huey pump to protect it from any excess debris that might be in the system, but the injectors are more expensive than the Huey pump, so an after Huey pump filter, in my opinion, is a good idea. Now, of course, just because it was a good idea didn't mean there was one available. In fact, Cat didn't make one, I didn't know of any aftermarket ones, and people started emailing me, hey, have you heard of this IFS kit? And at first I said no, but about the same week I started getting these emails, George, who owns IFS Kit, emailed me and said, hey, I made a Huey inline filter for these injectors. I have one on my rig with a Cat in it, and would you like to get one of these kits and take a look at it for me? And I said, sure. Now, a few things. This is not a Cat part. I do not work for George. I don't work for IFS Kits. I'm not keeping the kit he sent me. I'm going to send it back. These kits are about $980, at least right now. And this is June of 2019. Now, they may go up or down in price depending on, it's a business. Now, this is not really making a modification to the engine as far as performance. This should not void any warranty if you do have one for your Cat engine. The only thing that could possibly void a warranty would be if the kit itself were to fail and damage any components. That, of course, would not be covered by any sort of Cat warranty. Now, like I said, I'm not selling these kits. I'm not affiliated with this company, but he did send me one to check out. So let's talk about it. So what was in the box I got? We had two different hoses. These are very high pressure hoses. They also have a nice conduit around them. You get two fittings. You get, of course, the filter housing itself and a bracket to mount to the dampener bolts that are on this, and of course instructions. The box came in, it said it was about 16 pounds. About 90% of that is just the filter housing. It's very heavy, and there is a filter in the kit. Now basically what this is doing is the steel tube that runs between the Huey pump to the cylinder head is going to get bypassed. You'll remove that tube. You'll keep the fittings on the Huey pump and on the cylinder head, but what you'll do is you'll run these lines, and this will need to be remote mounted. Due to the size of it, there's really no way to mount it directly where this tube would go. So kind of went over what the kit looks like there. You get a lot of high quality components, what it looks like, and the heart of the kit is the filter housing itself. And this is it. Now, it's pretty big. I'll put it next to my head. It's about the size of a person's head, or at least my head. It comes with the fittings already installed. It comes with some rubber dampening isolators for the bracket that goes on it. And this is heavy. This is cast steel. And the base here screws off. And it has a hexagonal nut on the bottom, so you can tighten it with a wrench. Obviously, you're not just going to do it hand tight, because this is under up to 4,000 psi of pressure. It's base comes off, looks like a straight cut thread here with an O-ring seal, and it's just empty. That would hold your high pressure Huey oil. And the inside are the guts. As you can see, there's a Donaldson filter, and this filter just pops out, and it comes with an O-ring in it, so you have your dirty and clean side. And this is obviously replaceable. Donaldson filters are not anything proprietary or anything. You can get those just about anywhere. In fact, most Cat dealers sell Donaldson filters for their engines, and they're a cheaper version of most of the cat filters. So that goes in there. Looks like you have a filter restrictor here, and this is a heavy-duty unit. I mean, if we had some sort of nuclear war and your RV was exploded, this thing would be intact for all intents and purposes. So this thing is heavy-duty, really heavy-duty. So we've looked at the components, we've discussed what they've done. Do you really need this? Is it worth the money? Well, if it saves your injectors from a HEUI pump failure or metal contamination, it's definitely worth it. It's a lot less than a set of new injectors. Now, maybe your engine would never have a HEUI pump failure, but the peace of mind is probably not a bad idea to have if you're, let's say, driving up to Alaska, or this is some sort of overland vehicle that you want it to be as bulletproof as it can possibly be. Now, of course, the injectors can still fail. And is this thing, let's say you never have a HEUI pump failure, would this thing extend the life of your injectors even without any metal contamination from the HEUI pump? Maybe. I mean, who really knows? You'd have to have multiple sets of the same engines running with and without the filters to really verify that scientifically. But having another filter in the system, I don't see how that could hurt the injectors unless something were to fail in this unit itself. But from the construction materials, it looks pretty robust. So I can't say go out and buy it or not to go out and buy it, but it seems like a high-quality kit. If you just want to make your C7 or HEUI engine as bulletproof as possible, I would say it's probably not a bad investment. All right, thanks for watching the video.